We are continuing on Chovot HaLevavot, Shaar HaBitachon. This is the fifth shiur, and we discussed the last piece of the previous shiur about the benefits, the physical benefits of a person that truly is connected with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, recognizing that Hashem governs your world. And the example that he gave was Ba'ale Kimia, right? Alchemia was a belief that they had of a person that could turn metal, kesef, to zahav, silver, he would turn it to gold, and copper, he would turn to silver, and so on and so forth. Obviously, if a person attains a power like that, he'll never be concerned, right? All you have to do is get some copper, turn it into kesef, and then turn the kesef to zahav, and you have a gold mine, like quite literally. You have a gold mine. And a person like that would never be concerned because he always could support himself in that way. And a person like that, what a menuchat nefesh a person like that that's sitting on a gold mine would have. You're not worried. Not worried, what am I going to do tomorrow? And David HaMelech says, Kagamul ale imo, ken gamul alai nafshi. Like a little baby that has no da'agot, has no stress. He's hungry, he makes one cry, and the mother comes running, and the milk is right there, the food, the comfort, the warmth, the love, everything is there. Right? It's the most secure system in the world that Hashem has created. And David HaMelech says, I feel like that. Knowing that I have you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I feel exactly like that little baby. Now, mind you, David HaMelech probably led the most difficult, challenging life of any other human being mentioned in Tanakh. David HaMelech did not have it easy. He says, he was born under certain circumstances that his own father didn't know if this is his child or not. Now, Yishai, the father of David HaMelech, was a tremendous tzaddik. The Gemara tells us that he was one of the 4 people in the history of the world that never sinned. Who are the 4? There's Amram, the father of Moshe Rabbeinu, Yishai, the father of David HaMelech, right? Kilav, the son of David HaMelech, and who else? Binyamin. The last of the Shvatim. Those 4 people, metu be'etio shel nachash. The Gemara says they really didn't have to die. They died only because of the gezerah, because they didn't have sins. The Gemara tells us that en mita belo ched reisur belo avon. The cause of death is usually avon. They didn't have any avonot. They died only because there was a gezerah on Adam HaRishon that he has to go back, decompose, and then stand in tchiyat metim. So you're talking about a person of that stature, and at some point he felt that maybe he's not kasher as a kosher Jew is concerned. Why? Because his great-grandmother was Ruth HaMoaviyah. The pasuk says, "Lo yavo Amoni u'Ma'avi b'kal Hashem gam dor asiri lo yavo lahem b'kal Hashem ad olam." An Amorite can never, the Edomi and Ammoni can never enter Ka'al Hashem, can never marry within the Jewish community. So if you have a Ger Tzedek from their community, they could marry each other. They cannot marry a regular Jew, right? Gamdor Asir, even 10th generation, you can't. Okay? And his grandmother was a Moabiyah. The only reason that she was actually kasher is because we darshin Moavi velo Moavit, a male Moabite, not a female Moabite. Again, the details of this doesn't concern our shiur now, but he was such a Yeresh Shamayim. He was so God-fearing. He said, maybe I'm pasul. So he separated from his wife. A whole midrash of how his wife made up with his new wife, and they switched, and David HaMelech was born, but it was under a cloud of ambiguity, his birth. And therefore, the children of his brothers, his full brothers, they casted him away. He was cast away to the degree that when Shemuel HaNavi comes, Hashem tells Shemuel HaNavi, go to Yishai bet alachmi, ki ra'iti li bebanav li melech. I've chosen one of his sons as the next king, says Hashem. He goes to Yishai, he says, bring all of your sons. Brings all of his sons, goes through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hashem says, no, this one I hate, this one is a Baal Gava, this one that. At the end, Shemuel says, do you have any other sons? Says, no. So Yishai says, oh, there's another one. He is a shepherd, he's by the sheep. That's David HaMelech. He's not even considered. Can you imagine growing up like that? Can you imagine growing up like that? He looked different, he was short, he was red. Even when he came to Shemuel HaNavi, Shemuel says, this looks like Esav. Hashem says, yeah, he kills, but he kills only for Hashem. That's his birth and upbringing. Then he gets married, finally he's successful, his brothers hate him for it. They taunt him. Then immediately after he gets married, his father-in-law is jealous of him. Now he wants to kill him. Sends he appoints the entire Israeli army. The Shayetet 13 and the Sayeret Matkal and the Team 6 and all of that. To kill his own son-in-law. He takes his wife, Michal. Shaul HaMelech takes his daughter, was the wife of David HaMelech, and marries her off without a divorce to somebody else. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? And now he's a fugitive for the next 6.5 years, running from place to place for his dear life. And because he's concerned that Shaul is going to take his family captives to force him to come out of hiding, he takes his mother, father, and 7 brothers, takes them to king of Moab, right? And he says, look, I'm in a difficult situation. Can you please watch over my family until things settle? He says, sure, no problem. He turns away and he kills all of his family. You wonder how Yishai died? How his wife died? They were murdered by the king of Moab, who David HaMelech put them there. And all of his brothers, aside from one that escaped to Melech Ammon. Should we say more? Of how his sons killed each other, and one of his sons violated his step sister, and then the other one killed the other one, and then Avshalom revolted against David HaMelech, wanting to kill him. And then Adoniyahu's story. His life was filled with sarot, losing 4 children. And yet, he's the one that composes Tehillim. Kagamul Aleim, he became David Melech Yisrael Chai V'Kayam. He became the Regel HaRevi'i of Merkava. There's Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and then there's David. Not Moshe, Aaron, Shlomo, David. There's Shaharit Mincha Arvit and Tikur Chatzot. 4 tefillot. Keneged David HaMelech. Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, David. Why? Kagamul Aleim, he lived with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, despite all the problems. Inside of him, he's running away from his son who wants to kill him. He says, Mizmor le David beborcho mipnei Avshalom beno. He's singing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When it says Mizmor le David, Kina le David mi baile. He should say Kina, you should be lamenting. And when it says no, he saw the good even in that. He said, look, if there was somebody that was supposed to revolt against me because of my avirot, I rather they should be from my household. They'll have at least a little rahmanut on me. Can you imagine a level of connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu like that? He's running away. You have to understand this. His son took over the majority of government. This was a planned, very methodically thought through revolt. For years and years he was planning this. And he was very smart, very charismatic, very good looking. He was the most good looking, handsome man in Klal Yisrael, Avshalom. And he took over the majority of the parliament and the Senate, and he captured the capital. He entered the palace of David HaMelech. David HaMelech had to run with barefoot with few of his friends and the Aaron for his dear life. And he captured the wives of David HaMelech and he violated them publicly on the balcony of the palace. Can you imagine that? And David HaMelech now is running. So to add injury to insult, his Rebbe Shimi ben Kara comes and curses David HaMelech the worst things you could ever imagine while throwing dirt and pebbles and stone on his head. King. Someone that does that is Chaya Mita, obviously. Mored b'malchut Chaya Mita. So Yoav ben Seruya, the head of the army, who was a killing machine, he takes his sword out, he says, let me kill this dog. And here's what David HaMelech says. By the way, Zohar HaKadosh says that this moment was the moment that David HaMelech became David Melech Yisrael Chai B'Kayam. He became the fourth leg of the chariot of Hashem. All that we just spoke about, it happened in this moment. David HaMelech asked to become that. And Hashem said, I have to test you. It's not going to be easy. He said, test me. And Hashem said, okay, I'll even tell you what your test is going to be in the area of Arayot. And he failed the test of Bathsheba. But says the Zohar, this is the moment that he gained it back. He tells Yoav, he says, no, don't kill him. Hashem amar lo kalil. Hashem wants me to undergo this bizayon right now. It's not him. He's merely a stick in the hand of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That is bitachon. Bitachon doesn't mean that everything is going to be, bells ringing and birds singing and sugar and spice and everything nice. Yeah, we hope. But it's living with the recognition that HaKadosh Baruch Hu governs every element of my life. And therefore, I don't have what to worry about. I have to do tshuva, I have to do the right thing with that. After that, I'm in your hands. B'yadecha afkid ruchi. That's an element of David HaMelech. That's a real bitachon. To living with that recognition is such a liberating thing. Because you don't have to stress about things yourself now. Because you're not in the driver's seat. Yes, you're in the driver's seat, as far as your hishtadlut is concerned. But once you do a normal hishtadlut, right, you feel like the alchemia. I'm sitting on a gold mine, the greatest gold mine ever. Liya kesef v'liya zahav, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I own the world. The gold is mine, the silver is mine, the parnasai, the shidduch is mine. Your kavod and dignity is mine. How people are going to view you is all me. How people are going to respect or disrespect you is all me. How people deal with you is mirror image of my relationship with you, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that is powerful. And he says, Haboteach be'elokim tarfo muftach lo mikol siba misibot ha'olam. A person that has true bitachon to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, his portion in life is prepared for him, regardless of what he's surrounded with and the world situation, so to speak. K'mo she'amar HaKatuv, like Pasuk says in Dvarim Perek Chet, I'm doing all of these things, all these miracles I did in supporting you through 40 years in the Midbar, Lema'an, in order, listen to this, Hashem says, I did all these nisim for you to recognize. To recognize what? I brought you man, right? Supported you miraculously in the Midbar. Right? Be'eres lo zru'ah. In a place that you can't possibly have, and it doesn't grow anything. It's Midbar. It's in the middle of the desert and the wilderness. And I had ananeh kavod simlatcha lo baleta me'alecha. Even your garments did not wear off. 40 years, right? Imagine 40 years you're wearing something and still smells like you just opened it from Macy's. You open like brand new, whatever. I'm not trying to pull a plug for anything. Right? Can you imagine? Your shoes didn't wear off. Your feet didn't get tired. And you got miraculous water with Be'erah Shel Miriam, miraculous lechem min hashamayim, the man. And Hashem says, I did all of these things. I could have done it differently. I could have done it that you would go past by places, buy things, and so on and so forth. There wouldn't be an open miracle like that. You know why I did it like this? Listen to this. Leman hodiacha. In order for you to know. Ki lo al halechem levado yihya adam, ki al kol motza pi Hashem yihya adam. For you to know that you're not living on bread. You think you live on bread. Al kol motza pi Hashem yihya adam. You live on the word of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem wants you to live like this, you'll live like that. If He wants you to live like that, you'll live like that. You think this person is going to give you a job, that person is going to give you a parnasah, that shatchan is going to get... Wrong. Hashem has 1,001 ways of doing things. You think lechem comes from the ground? No, lechem comes from the heaven. You think the only place that you can't find a drop of moist is inside a rock? The rock is going to be giving millions of gallons of water. Hafuch. Exactly the opposite of what you would think. Did it for you to realize Al kol motza pi Hashem yihya adam. You live with me. You live above the nature. That is bitachon. Hashem could support you. Any of those reasons that you think are necessary are not necessary. Hashem has ena nivtzarot mimenu bechol et ubechol makom. Hashem does not lack ways of doing things under any circumstance in any time. Kasher yadata midvar Eliyahu im ha'orvim. We know it from Eliyahu Navi. Eliyahu Navi went to a hiding place for 3 years of famine and drought. HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought him whatever food he needed through the birds. Ravens brought him food every single day, right? Same thing. Many stories of Eliyahu Navi. When he's running away for 40 days, the malach comes and says, "Here, eat this ugat retzafim." He eats it. Goes for 40 days and nights. The koach he got from that. What? He ate a piece of cookie. But it was like Moshe Rabbeinu. Went up. Didn't need sustenance more than that. And Ovadiyahu with the Nevi'im. So many stories like this. And it says in Tehillim, David HaMelech, Kefirim rashu v'ra'evu. Even the lion cubs, that you would think they have a herd of lions, a pack of lions to support them. You want better than that? The king of the jungle, not one, but a pack of them. Kefirim rashu v'ra'evu. Even they could go hungry and could become poor and helpless. But Dorshei Hashem lo yachzeru kol tov. For someone that seeks HaKadosh Baruch Hu, someone is connected to Hashem, lo yechesar kol tov. He will not lack any good. And that's what it says in Tehillim Lamed Dalet, Yeru et Hashem kedoshav, ki en machzor lera'av. Fear only HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because en machzor lira'av. There's no lack for someone that truly fears HaKadosh Baruch Hu, truly is connected with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the first benefit of a boteach. The first benefit of a person who trusts Hashem is you live a quality life, a calm life, a serene life, a life of no stress, no anxiety, no depression. You're happy, genuinely happy. Not a fake smile on your face, but natata simcha belibi, says David HaMelech me'ed ganav v'tirosham ravu. Is simcha that's generated from within the heart, an overflowing sense of joy and happiness. That's the first element. And Be'ezrat Hashem, the second element, we will be discussing and continuing in the next shiur. Baruch Hanoten Chaim. Chazaku Baruch.